Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin. Thanks for joining me today for some VAM sanity. And we're going to look at nothing but 1878 VAMs, which is insane to me, but also we're going to have some fun doing this. So leave your comments, questions, queries. Some ground rules for this. I will give you some ground rules to start. I am not looking all of these up. So if it's not really clearly labeled what the VAM is, and then you guys can just yell at me later. But we got a huge collection of VAMs in. They're just like all popping up on the website as I speak. But like these things are so crazy that in 1878, San Francisco minted coins has a VAM top 30. Mind you, that's for 1 year and one mint mark. So this is the 78 7/8 tail feathers, VAM 31 7/0. All right, so 7/8 tail feathers is going to be down here at the back side. So that's going to be the main type where you should be able to see over the tail feathers. You should be able to see 7/8 on those guys. And so it'll be mostly visible on the right-hand side of the tail feathers. You can see just a little bit of the remnant. Now this is the design that they used. This reverse design had the incused eagle on it. It's very different than the designs later on into the starting in 79. And so there's a whole lot of crossover there between 78 and 79. And would that say 7/0 tail feather? Well, I'm looking to see if I can find a mark on the 7/0 or if that's the tail feather it's referring to. Like I said, I'm not looking all of these up, but let me give you another reference here real quick on this guy. These first few are going to be probably sent into our like eBay auctions, but there's a top 100 book on VAMs. But on this, you know, you'll see that by the time they get to page 32, we're into the 1880s, and the ones that they show in the 1870s, there's really like VAM 223. There's a lot going on here. So you can just VAM out all you want to on these guys. Now some of them, the labels will have really nice labels explaining what it is. VAM 42A, 7/7 tail feathers and clash, unk details and properly cleaned. So once again, you're talking about the reverse designs. The reverse designs on the 78s are just like legend. There's so many different types of these, and you can see here the tail feathers. We got a smash up going on there. It's got its own little party going on. And a lot of times the details on these guys will be where you've got the end points, and on a lot of the VAMs, right where the end of the tail feathers are is where you start to see the next design point or what they're referring to when you're talking about 7/. Do you see them popping up there? 7/7 on that guy. So VAMs, if you like VAMs, then you can have a lot of fun. This, I don't see a VAM listed, but this is super awesome. This is like one of my favorite coins that we've had in inventory in the last 1 billion years. Yeah, I was just saying the last month. So this is a 1878 San Francisco in a soapbox holder with a proof-like obverse. It's not noted, but look at its serial number 840. Like, how cool is that? That's correct. It's super cool. And thanks for answering. Appreciate it for all of you who talk to your screen. But really a cool coin. Old annex soapbox. Got that little bit of that tone going on that coin, and a nice proof-like obverse. Cool beans. So the 79, let me see here. We've got a 78S next in a more modern annex holder. VAM number 69er engraved wing is the little note I have here. Look and see on these wings here if I can pick out the engraving lines right away or not. I don't think it's the one that has like the Z mark on the wings, but I could be wrong. All right, I'm trying to figure out which line it was. Like I said, the VAMs I'm not as familiar with. There's one that almost looks like Zorro attacked it and put some big marks on there. Oh, here we go. Here's a 79 later date. So 79, but has that reverse of 78. Very cool piece. And this one is VAM. Oh, this is so funny. VAM 46. It says top 100 here, and it's not saying which one it is. That's hilarious. Trust. Let's find the trust on here and see where the variety is. Gonna have to get my 20 power, and I think what we're seeing here is that that's the truest. So the R, the tip of the R in trust is just like almost completely gone on this coin. So TRUST, you can see it should, that the R is almost gone in trust. And that's the variety on that guy. Once again, with a pretty cool looking cameo-ish reverse to it. I'm gonna try not to break. Let me put these in a safe spot real quick. Next thing you know, you hear nothing but falling coins. So much for my safe spot. All right. Literally, I'm just gonna start dropping stuff here any second now. All right, next up, 78cc. This is fun. I like having the fact that you can collect Carson City coins and VAMs. This is a 7A. Clash at In God on this guy. I have some notes here from the engineer. So I believe we're looking at the line that's running up. I can't see it at this angle, then it pops up at this angle, going from the wing into the G in God. Appears to be a clashed die mark. So the VAMs can be all over the place in what causes the VAM. Clash die is when you've got two dies running into each other without a planchet in between, and that can definitely happen on that happens on tons and tons of coins. So next up, this VAM is an 8-tailed feather VAM 7 clean. Also does not tell us on here reverse spike at A. Okay, let me see here. See if I can interpret these here. There's lots of A's on here. What am I supposed to do with that? Here we go. I'm looking here at this A because that's the first A that came to mind. And is there a spike running through that A? So you can see that there's lots of things that are very esoteric. States, yeah, it's that A. There's a line going through there. And that line that goes through it is the VAM. All right, we've got a lot of these coins actually are going to be in that like $75 to $150 range on the coins we're looking at. I haven't been pricing them. I don't have them all listed in my mind. I haven't remembered to tell you any. There are some notes here for me to say things out loud, but I tend to go off script. An 8055 8-tail feather VAM 6. And this is the double motto rib. Okay, this one, okay, this guy, I'm trying to remember here. Okay, if you look at the R, IB in pluribus, there's that doubling on the base letters there, the serifs. I found a word. Rims damaged, 8-tail feather VAM 14.2. Going on to the study of these guys, you start getting decimal points. So it's not 14 anymore, it's 14.2 as they've added to the different types. So this says that it is a polished ear variety. So I'm going to look for die polished marks in and around the ear. I'm guessing that means that there are lines going inside of the ear there. It looks like a halo piercing of some kind. That guy, here we go. All right, next up, this guy, VAM 18, should be a double date. Let's take a look and see if we can see doubling on the date here. Well, there's all kinds of action going on in this date. Unlike most coin collectors' dates. So you can see, there we go, there's a better angle. You can see a lot of the shifting looks on that one. It looks almost warped, and then the other lettering is going on there also with some of its movement. All the pickup points, all of the different pickup points that you can look at here. All right, VAM 70. This one's really cool for a couple reasons. One of which, it's in a soapbox. Two, it's got a great look to it. It's only graded 63, but look at that. It's a pretty coin. Very nice. This is a Philadelphia Mint coin. Also, this is the strong double rib, I think. There we go. That's the strong double. There it is. I like that coin. There's some that I'm more familiar with than others, and some that I've had many of. So the doubling on the rib in pluribus is like super strong on this coin. Like you can almost see it from a distance, and yeah, very cool coin. So this is, you can see why that's a top 100 type coin on that guy. I like them when they're a little easier to spot. This is number 121, doubled motto. Let me see here. See if we can pick up on it. The other thing is that sometimes, so I like the obvious ones, and sometimes they're harder to see in general than others. I like the ones that are easier to see. My eyes are wigging out on that coin. I'm going to go to the next one here, 114A, doubled R right stars. Okay. Let's see if we can get a doubling on the R. And once again, you can actually see the doubling pretty clearly on that. And then the right stars. I'm not seeing the stars. I'm seeing the hidden number 98 though. That's kind of fun. Or is it 86? Bum bum. All right, next stack of VAMs. Now, mind you, we've already had whatever, close to a dozen coins here that we've looked at. And we're only doing 1878s right now. Right, here's another one, VAM 38. I wonder if this one's in the book, VAM 38. Let me glance real quick here. And no dice. This ain't over. All right, 7 over 5. I find this to be an odd number. Is it 7 over 5 or is it the tail feathers? I think it's probably the tail feathers. Oh, it's look at, it's all schmutzy right where we want to be able to see. Do you like the grandma thing where I wipe my thumb and then I wipe the plastic with my thumb like I'm getting the dirt off the kid's ear? We got to get to see through that plastic, but you can see the doubling on the tail feathers. And so the double tail feathers, there's a lot of different varieties on those, and you can just see how this is doubled. There are certain tail feathers down and to the left of the main tail feathers. Really hard to see here, but that's actually kind of a fun variety on that guy. All right, next up we've got the VAM 171. This is going to be the triple R, which is kind of a cool one also. These R's, for some reason, really got engraved by someone who had too much coffee that morning. This right now, I'm using the 20 power instead of the 10. On a lot of these you can see with the 10 power, and the 10 power actually makes a lot of sense to use. All right, up next, 114-2, doubled R and stars. So we got more double R's and more doubled stars. And you see that the doubling of the stars and the R's isn't even always the same direction. And we'll see if we can pick up on the stars. I oftentimes have a hard time picking up on doubled stars because they already look kind of doubled to me sometimes. There's lots of stars on these guys. Really, at the end of the day, collecting VAMs this way is you know, you're just collecting die state varieties of coins, and so hundreds of dies are created over time. So this one here is a VAM 75. So engraved wing. Let's see if I can get this one right with the engraved wing. There's an engraved wing that I'm familiar with, and I'm just didn't see that other one. So I'm looking for an extra line in the wing running a different direction. And my mind is looking for something very specific that it's familiar with. And my eye is not seeing the one that I'm familiar with on that guy. All right, VAM 14, double Liberty engraved wing glue residue, MS60 details. That glue needs to come off, y'all. Double Liberty, that's an interesting thing on this because this is an incuse area of the coin. Going to the 20 power to see what it looks like. Oh, very interesting. You can really see the double Liberty on that. Once again, it says engraved wing, which means that there's probably one very specific type of engraving here that I'm not familiar with. I'm looking for the one with the really big heavy lines on it. All right, here we go. VAM 8, top 30, die 1. So hopefully this is in the book. It says it's a top 30. Let's see if it's in the book here. VAM 8. Oh, 14. No, it's actually not in this one. You got VAM 9 and VAM 5. But you'll see sometimes just how small the varieties are as it points to extra little extra things in the, you know, the double I, extra spiked wings. So there's lots of stuff like this. This says that it's also, the note on here also is that it's one of the engraved wing varieties. So I'm wondering just how fine that engraving line is. Eventually I think we'll find a Zorro coin. All right, 17C. Tentacles, impressions near dollar. Hit list 40. See, look at this. They have all these different lists that they do. So this one has to do with the dentical impressions near the word dollar. Oh, you can see them actually. There's like a, almost like an echo right there above the below the O and L. It looks like there's more denticles. That's wild. Dentical impressions. Yeah, I've never seen that one before. That's kind of cool. All right, next up is 19A. Torn bonnet. Is that what that says? Gouge? Well, I was going to say I doubt I'll find that one. And there it is. See all that extra, all that extra little bumpy area right there. I'm using my 10. Let me switch to my 20 and try to get on the point. all of that little extra bumpy area there, that's all what they're referring to on that piece. That's interesting because it looks like the die was possibly damaged, corroded even, something like that. Here's another one, VAM 16, that says it's a top 30, and yet it's not. Well, maybe it's a top 30 just for the 78s. I mean, in fairness, VAM 16, die scratch in wing. I'm still waiting to just have this one. There we go. I got you. All right, you see that line running? Now it's running horizontal. It looks like a spike through the wings. That's what we're talking about on that guy. All right, we found one finally with the wings. Number 17, VAM 17 here, 78, reverse of 78. And this one says it is a double D. I'm going to start here with D in United. That's not popping, obviously. Let's look at the D in dollar. There we go. I can see that. So that one's pretty cool. Next up is VAM 41C. The bearded lady at clash near the neck. Let's see if we can see it from a distance. Clash near the neck, bearded lady. So some of the nicknames on these are pretty good. Others I think are just kind of like stretching it. So clash near the neck. Okay, so it's a clash die, and you can see all those little spikes coming from the chin. Just the hair of my chinny chin. I was hoping for like a, you know, full-blown hipster beard instead of that little guy. Like I said before, I don't have experience with all of these, and so it's kind of fun just to see what type of stuff is out there. We can kind of learn together. 7/8, VAM 38, scratched, mint-state details. Right. These are going to be some of those different tail feather combinations. So 7/5 tail feather, 7/4, 7/4, like I was saying before. That other one you had, it was hard to see because it had all the plastic was kind of scratched. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can really clearly see the 5 extra wings, tail feathers. And so this next one here, the VAM 36, is going to be a 7/4 variety. So let's see how many tail feathers we can see here. You see the 1, 2, 3, 4 tail feathers sticking out under the bottom. And so that's just kind of what we're looking at. This one's VAM 36. Mind you, we've got more VAMs besides these. I just thought it was so wild to have so many that I had to make a video. This is 7/8. Actually, this also says 7/4. Yeah, so the 7/8 is a variety that they sometimes, just because of the different die variety combinations, but then the sub variety is showing how many tail feathers you can see, although that looks like 4.5 on that one. And then, another 78cc. Get to CC, the CCs. This is the 2A, and this one, die chip at nostril. So we're going to take a look closer. All right, guys, so, oh my gosh, look at that. That one's fantastic. The pierced nose. Okay, so that's like right on. You can see that right away, just right there at the nose. Very cool. So anyways, there's a bazillion things to learn about die varieties and VAMs. And if you want to go down that rabbit hole, go ahead, but I'm not following you. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.